Watching the Millennial Millie Show. Well, it is good to be back. Many of you guys have been wondering and even asking, Millie Weaver, Millennial Millie, where did you go? Can you please make content again? Why are you not posting videos on these social media platforms that love to censor you, shadow ban you, use algorithms to suppress you, and demonetize you? Well, I'm pretty much fed up with the censorship. And quite honestly, I think that even being on some of these social media platforms and acquiescing to their community guidelines, so to speak, in order to be able to maintain a presence on these sites, it really, I think it's setting a bad example for you guys. I think it's setting a bad example for Americans in general, because I should be standing up for free speech and speaking my mind and not being fearful and having to self-censor. So part of the reason why I took a little bit of a break here was actually to work on QUX, which, if you guys know about QUX, this is something that I've been working on for a very long time. It's basically an alternative to all this other tech out there that loves to spy on you, collect your data, surveil you, pretty much put you in a grid, in the matrix, in a box where they can completely control you and essentially digitally execute you, meaning you can be unpersoned from many of these social media ghettos that, people with wisdom have been warning us about for a very, very long time. So, needless to say, now I am back, I'm ready to start up my show again. Why? Because QUX is now launched, and I'm launching the Millennial Millie Show on QUX exclusively. The only other place that you're going to be able to find my show is actually on millennialmillie.com for the paid subscribers that support me on there so I can continue to do journalistic work. But other than that, if you want to be able to watch my show for free, you can do so on the Millennial Millie channel on QUX. So, let's get into some of these updates I wanted to bring to your guys' attention that's happening right now in the world around us. Now, this video I saw today on social media, and I found it, I found it quite alarming, so to speak, not because I'm surprised about the fact that the government is wanting to mass surveil us and collect our data, because let's get real, they have been doing that for quite some time. But before, they used to try to lie about it. They weren't so honest with us about what they were doing. Now, you have Governor Kathy Hochul, who's just so flagrant about it. She's boisterous about it. She doesn't care. In fact, she's warning us, hey, we're mass surveilling you. We're collecting all of the data of everything you guys are doing on social media. So you guys better behave. You guys better self-censor. Otherwise, we'll send the FBI and the authorities after you, and you can be raided, or you can, find yourself in the hot seat, so to speak. Take a look at this video clip.
Also, we're very focused on the data we're collecting from surveillance efforts, what's being said on social media platforms. And we have launched an effort to be able to counter some of the negativity and reach out to people when we see hate speech being spoken about on online platforms. Our media analysis, our social media analysis unit has ramped up its monitoring of sites to catch incitement to violence direct threats to others. And all this is in response to our desire, our strong commitment to ensure that not only do New Yorkers be safe, but they also feel safe. Because personal security is about everything for them. As I said, no one walking down the street or in a subway should feel they have to hide any indications of what their religious beliefs are. We expect to see people celebrating their lives, walking about freely, and that is no longer the case because people are living in fear. They have a right to do whatever they want here in the state of New York.
So, whatever your beliefs are on the situation that's going on in the Middle East, why is it then that our government thinks that they need to censor the speech of American citizens on social media and collect data and mass surveil them? I mean, let's get real. And now, like I said, they're just being more open with it because we know that what was exposed during the Twitter files was that we had DHS CISA, so the Department of Homeland Security CISA, was working with the EIP, the Election Integrity Partnership. Now, the Election Integrity Partnership consisted of some DHS CISA employees working with this organization, as well as journalists, mostly left-wing journalists, and other donors and sponsors. And so what they would do was the DHS used the EIP as a middleman, a barrier, so to speak, between themselves and these social media sites like Twitter in order to be able to censor the American people via a proxy so that they couldn't be directly accused of censoring free speech, which would be constitutional violations. It would be a violation of our rights for free speech. So instead, they used the middleman to do so, and they essentially put pressure on these tech companies to do so. But let's get real. We know that these tech companies, many of them were extreme left echo chambers with purple-haired SJWs working in the tech seats, so to speak, and they were happy to censor conservative speech. They gleefully and willfully participated in the censorship of political viewpoints of half of the country, pretty much. And so what we found out, actually, interestingly enough, in the Twitter files was that guess what was the number 8 most censored tweet or hashtag that was censored on the Twitter files? You guessed it right. The sunrise Zoom calls. So hashtag Zoom calls was the number 8 most censored tweet on Twitter, according to the Twitter files. They removed almost 500,000 hashtags and reposts of the sunrise Zoom calls and videos that I had released right before the election. Our undercover inside the Sunrise Movement was able to obtain exclusive video footage inside Zoom chats where Shutdown DC, BLM, and other leftist organizations are coordinating a multi-level coup action exercise utilizing insider help from Democrat Party members as well as federal employees and intelligence contractors. Now, why is this so important? If you remember, the Sunrise Zoom calls consisted of the Sunrise Organization, which is a climate green organization, working with other left-wing organizations, meaning the heads of BLM, Shutdown DC, Extinction Rebellion, other Antifa-like organizations that were working directly with the Democrats. So AOC would regularly appear in their streams, in their video Zoom chats. They would communicate regularly with Chuck Schumer. Bernie Sanders was endorsed by them and worked closely with them. So they had a close relationship with the Democrat Party, as well as government bureaucrats inside our government. Now, why is this key? Well, because in these Sunrise Zoom calls, we actually have government employees.
I'm a management and programs analyst.
I work in the national security community.
I spent 3.5 years as a contractor at DHS HQ.
Including DHS CISA employees or contractors, such as Laura Robb, who I actually had communications with DHS about. They plan to shut down Washington, D.C. and other major U.S. cities starting November 4th until Inauguration Day.
Do we have any plans for how to respond if there's a coup?
Come to BLM Plaza anytime after 4 p.m. on election night. On the 5th, we're going to shut down the White House.
Map the White House and know every access point so we knew we could blockade it.
On the 6th, we're going to shut down larger parts of Washington, D.C.
We've been working on a target map and a framework for scenario. So where are all the police stations? Where are all the key government buildings? Who are the Trump boosters?
Members of Congress that are coming in, we're going to meet them at the airports or at Union Station and send them back to where they came from until we deal with the situation that we're in.
Okay, so they had government employees plotting and conspiring. Yes, actually, we have caught a conspiracy on videotape with these calls, okay?
We are going to be in a crisis, but we want it to be one that we are creating. Whoever's got the guns can win. Let's take over the buildings. If there are people that are willing to do that, we should support them. Get ready to shut your city down on the 4th or the 5th.
Conspiring to subvert President Trump and to do anything within their power in the government to make sure that he would not get into office come 2020, okay? So they said they were going to do strategic leaks to the press. They were going to use their powers inside government to do bureaucratic slowdown, basically taking sick leave as a way of activism to not do their jobs, basically targeting people for their political viewpoints within the office. They really went the extra mile to plot basically of how to get rid of President Trump. And they were working with these radical leftist rioters, the same ones who committed some of the acts in the Summer of Rage, the George Floyd riots, so to speak. So where does this all tie in together? Okay, so we're just talking about how Governor Kathy Hochul is bragging and pretty much warning people, be careful what you say. Don't engage in hate speech like a tyrannical tyrant that she is. Otherwise, we're coming for you, right? Because we're monitoring you on social media. We're collecting data. We have mass surveillance all across all these platforms, which was originally denied. Now, we have the Twitter files that expose the government was secretly using a third party, EIP, to censor social media posts and the speech of the American people. And we also know that we have other various governmental agencies that like to, collect that data as well and get these broad-reaching FISA warrants on people in order to access all of your information on these platforms. Now, I guess where I'm going with some of this is Joe Biden just recently announced the creation of the American Climate Corps, okay? So the American Climate Corps, he just did an executive order to create this back in September of this year. So September 20th, 2023 of this year, Joe Biden announced the creation of the American Climate Corps. This is what the Sunrise Movement, this Green Party movement, has been pushing for and demanding for since the very beginning. Okay, they have been demanding to have this American Climate Corps, which would be the green police, okay, the Green Party within our own government, our bureaucratic government, that would usher in the Green New Deal policies. So they are working directly with the leadership of the Sunrise Movement in this executive order. They actually quote the leader of the Sunrise Movement, and they talk about how they worked with them directly in order to create this new executive order to create this American Climate Corps. This American Climate Corps, what they're going to be doing is it's an apprenticeship program. So they'll be bringing in all of these young people fresh out of high school, right, while they're in college, potentially, and they will be training them and basically indoctrinating them with Sunrise Movement style indoctrination, which we documented in these Sunrise Zoom calls. And what they'll be doing is working directly with governmental agencies. So like the Department of Labor, the Department of Energy, many of these other federal government bureaucratic agencies they're working directly and have partnerships that they announced for apprenticeships. So the kids that are going to be going through this American Climate Corps climate change brainwash program, they're going to be the ones that are getting the shoe-in to work and staff all of our government positions, okay? They're going to be getting that, fast track into our government so that then when they pass something like a Green New Deal, instead of meeting resistance with many of the people who might still be in these bureaucratic positions, they will have the brown shirts or green shirts that are ready to march along and enact and enforce these new Green Deal type climate change globalist policies that they want to force on all of us. They want to force us to not eat meat, right? We have Bill Gates, who is investing heavily in growing synthetic meats, all the while buying up massive amounts of farmland in America. We have, this push for us to eat crickets and bugs and all these things. It's like they want us to just shut up and eat some bugs, right? It's like, shut up, you peasants, and eat some bugs. You don't get to eat meat. You don't get to drive a car. You don't get to have a wood-burning stove, and you certainly don't get to have guns, and you have to watch what you say on social media. Otherwise, you could be put on a governmental watch list, right? We already have seen that there have been some reports of entire families being put on these TSA watch lists for things they've said online, and even for having just attended J6 related events or activities. So not even the people that went into the Capitol, right? I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about if you went on one of the days, maybe January 5th, and you happened to be there and attended one event, you could find yourself on this TSA terrorist watch list. Not only you, but your baby. According to these reports, we've seen that this report says that there was a newborn baby who was actually put on this TSA watch list because of what their parents did. This is tyranny. This is what happens in banana republic countries. This is what happens in countries where elections are stolen. This is what happens in countries where political opponents are jailed. Political opponents are forced to stand up and give speeches and false confessions, otherwise they rot in prison for decades. I mean, this is pretty scary where we're going, guys. It's definitely pretty scary. But what I will say is there is a light at the end of the tunnel, okay? And that's my whole purpose and my whole point for wanting to come on here to tell you this stuff. Despite all of the moves that the left is making, despite all the tyrannical craziness that they're doing, what we actually have to realize is that we actually have the power at the end of the day. I know, shocking, right? It doesn't seem like it because the people aren't exercising it. The people are just bending the knee. The people are complying, just like with the mask mandates. There was way too much compliance from all of us during that time period. And we need to learn from that. We need to learn and recognize that we should not comply. We should not comply with tyranny in any way, shape, or form. So I'm committed to not self-censoring anymore on any of these social media platforms. Now that I know especially that we have QUX where I can freely speak and not ever worry about being banned or censored, where at least you guys know if I get banned off of YouTube, banned off of, all these other platforms, which, mind you, it's not going to really even affect me too much anymore, guys, because they've already shadow banned me into oblivion. But let's say they ban me, you guys know where to find me. And we do have a growing community on QUX where like-minded people are getting on there and starting to fully use QUX, where there are no data loggers, okay? Complete privacy, encryption, security, where you can say what you want to say and you don't have to worry about some government agencies putting you on watch list. I mean, look at the beauty in that, right? Or trying to censor your speech, or trying to keep you from watching things, or keep you from buying things that you want to buy or you want to watch, or people you want to support. I mean, look, this is America. We all should embrace capitalism. We all should embrace freedom of the market, freedom of speech, freedom of all these things. And we don't want to live in a country where they try to force certain things on us and keep us from doing what we want to do with our paychecks or saying what we want to say to our friends and family online. And we know that, look, this government, they do not hesitate to come after soccer moms for getting a little heated at school board meetings. We know that they continually target conservatives. And this has been going on for quite a while. During the Obama administration, it all came out about how they were targeting the original grassroots Tea Party movement. They were going after these organizations with weaponizing the IRS to go after some of these organizations just because of the titles and the names of the organizations. So they were basically looking for grassroots type of people in order to go after them. Here's another interesting thing. So right now we have this illusion on, I would say, some of the social media platforms, okay? And I've seen this, and, I'll just call it out. On X, okay, on Elon Musk's X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, site, okay? There's a lot of conservatives on there that I see, and they've been very hopeful, like, oh, don't worry, guys, Elon's got this. He's not censoring conservative speech anymore. He's being fair, yada, yada. Well, I would say that's actually not the case, okay? There's still a lot of conservatives that were originally banned from Twitter that are no longer able to be on Twitter, and they've never been allowed to come back, okay? So let's get that straight. Next, I have experienced a lot of shadow banning on Twitter, and I know of a bunch of other grassroots conservatives that have also experienced shadow banning on Twitter, as well as having been denied the ability to monetize content, okay? So it seems to be there's a club, right, of people and conservative influencers that are allowed to be on these platforms. They're allowed to be monetized. They're allowed to be amplified. And it just seems to be that there's a pattern of many of those who are allowed to be amplified as conservatives are horrible for the conservative movement and cause, in that their version, their brand of conservatism is viewed as so repugnant to the left, to the Democrats, to the young generations, that they actually want to amplify those conservative viewpoints. Okay? So by amplifying those type of conservatives, right, like Andrew Tate or that Pearl chick, there's a couple others, right? There's a good handful of these conservatives which are constantly being amplified, yet their viewpoints are actually serving to recruit Democrats. So hear me out on this. So when Generation Z and millennials are overwhelmingly voting Democrat, yet they're getting the majority of their information on politics and culture from social media, we have to stop to ask ourselves, is what's going on slanted, right? Is it rigged? And I would say absolutely. Why is it in the last election that we saw, especially Generation Z, voted 80% Democrat? I'm going to tell you, it's two things, okay? It's the schools. The school systems are turning out Green Party voters. So kids as young as even in kindergarten are being taught about recycling, environmentalism, climate, yada yada, right? They're being taught about climate change and indoctrinated about the fact that they need to be the responsible ones. The adults won't do it. The authorities won't do it. They're the ones, they're the change agents. So then the Democrat Party has essentially merged itself with the Green Party, and when you have young people being indoctrinated from a young age along a certain party political line, they're more likely to go in line and in league with that when they vote. But see, that's not all of it, because they know about the teenage propensity to rebel. you would think that if all the teachers, the lame teachers, the adults were pushing this on the kids, that they would all rebel, right? Maybe some have, but look, the statistics and data is showing they aren't. And I believe it's because of social media. It's what they're seeing on TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. It's because all of these social media platforms are heavily rigged. They rig the algorithms. They use AI to target these young people, and they perpetuate these arguments, these ideologies, these viewpoints on these young people, and then they make it so that they see tons of positive liberal leaning content, and then the only thing they're seeing in their feed that represents conservatism is somebody like Andrew Tate, somebody like that Pearly Things, somebody like a conservative that might like Nick Fuentes, right? Somebody who would profess conservative belief points, claim to be a conservative, but what they're actually professing doesn't even really relate to or register with probably 80 to 90% of actual conservatives. But it represents the small fringe minority of conservatism that has just gone off the rocker, okay? That's gone a little too wild, right? Where, how are you going to get these young Generation Z voters to vote conservative when their representation that they see for conservatism says women shouldn't vote, right? They say, just all this stuff, right? And it's portrayed in a very negative light. So here's what we have to think about. We have to think about, we're continuing to operate inside of this realm, inside of social media, where it's completely rigged, where they are literally doing scientific studies on us, on behavioral modification, okay? And they're modifying the behavior of Americans with social media. And you think these elite billionaires aren't paying for that behavioral modification to be done? Absolutely. If you look at the documentary I did called Big Data is Watching, which is a very in-depth, detailed documentary on basically what's going on with AI, tech, massive surveillance, data collection, and how this is all boiling down to why we are all so controlled, and how we are essentially becoming digitally enslaved, and we're walking ourselves and future generations into slavery unknowingly by giving away our freedoms, by giving away our rights, by giving our data away, right? And I guess to summarize that, it's that when you allow all of these devices to spy on you, to collect everything on you, okay, you are essentially allowing a massive data center to collect all of this information, meaning your conversations you're having near your phones, your devices, all of that stuff, it's being transcribed, it's being put and housed in massive data centers. It's being combed over, sorted, sifted. They have behavioral models and profiles on each and every one of us, okay? Like a 3D avatar behavioral, profile on every one of us in this simulated world that they have. And they can actually run predictive analytics and basically predict future outcomes and future events based on their predictive analytics. So they could throw in, like, let's say, a pandemic, and they could then see in the current model of all of us right now in our country, with the data they have collected, how we would all respond and what things they could add in to nudge us into compliance. So those are things that they can do with that data. So we have to think about what we're doing. It's not just as simple as, oh well, what do they care about me? What do they care about what I'm saying? I'm just some nobody. Believe me, you're not a nobody. They know that. They know everybody counts. Everybody's viewpoint counts. Everybody's vote counts. And they pay big money to spy on you and, to get data from you, So I'll tell you a story. My grandma actually recently called me up, and she told me this story about how her and it's my grandma and her two sisters, and they were driving in a vehicle they have, and they were trying to get the directions from Siri on their phones, And they said that all of a sudden it turned on and it started asking all these questions and wanting to have a conversation with them. And they were really disturbed. They were really disturbed and freaked out. Like, this is something that their generation could never even have imagined. So it might have just been the shock of how high tech some of this stuff is getting. But I think it was also, why does this thing, care, right? And how much is this thing listening and learning about me without me really paying attention to what's going on? So, it's something to really think about. Okay, definitely something to think about with the current times and the current trends and how AI is fastly being developed. And we've seen many people who are paying attention to tech have said that AI is the single greatest threat to humanity. So look, I guess if we don't all blow ourselves up in World War III with what's popping off in the Middle East, we have AI to look forward to. Maybe AI will just do it for us, right? Like maybe AI will just blow up the whole world. Who knows, right? But I think that it's probably more sinister of what would happen. It would be, AI would just slowly, incrementally take over to where the next thing you know, you're driving in your smart vehicle and all of a sudden one of these, digital assistants come on and say, hey, what you said is actually hate speech. You're being criminally cited and fined a ticket of $300. Don't worry, we've already taken it out of your bank account because it's all connected into the big system, right? That's, I think, where we're going with tech in this digital age. It's going to be mass surveillance, mass monitoring. They're going to want to monitor and track everything you're doing and then start to ticket you and fine you for it. So it's cute and fun. We're driving around with our phones today, and these phones can track our speed limit, but in the future it'll be you're being ticketed for your speed limit because you were on a road that you went 5 miles over, 5 miles per hour over, right? So anyway, all of this stuff is very important, and I don't think that anyone should blow it off as, this is just tech, this is just how it is.
We're being converted into a digital resource, a digital currency to be farmed for metadata and loaded into a computerized combine, blockchained to a social engineering operating system.
Because it actually doesn't have to be this way. We don't have to give all of our rights. These are just private companies who make you sign terms of agreements, terms of use in order to use their product. And in that terms of use, they then say that they can sell your data, collect your data and sell it to third parties. And then when they're collecting that massive trove of data, then you've got the government wanting to get in there and reach in and grab it as well. So that's never a good thing. And then obviously you have AI learning and machine learning off of it, so they could try to replace us in various job fields and job sectors. And it's crazy what's going on. But so I guess I want to spend a little bit of time here bringing you guys up to speed on some of the fun and exciting announcements that I actually have for you today regarding QUX. Okay, so guess what? Yesterday, QUX Pay just launched in the Google Play Store. That's right. So the first payment app, okay, that keeps your transactions private, encrypted, and secured has actually launched in the Google Play Store. QUX Pay, if you guys want to download it and have at it and look at it and use it, it's really cool because you can pretty much send money to your friends, your family. You can obviously use it in many different facets and ways, and it's all encrypted and private, which is really nice and handy. And that's just one of the things that we've done with QUX so far, which it's a huge feat because there's only 30 other, I think it's one of 30 payment apps currently in the Google Play Store. So we actually have launched one of 30 payment processors in the Google Play Store. So that's a pretty big feat right there. And so, hey, it's in there, downloaded it, support it, rate it, what you think. The other thing is I actually wanted to show you guys what we've got going on QUX, because like I said, I'm starting up my show, Millennial Millie Show, on QUX, So you guys are going to want to get on QUX along with the thousands of other people who've got on QX who are already putting content up and watching our shows and watching other people's shows. But I want to give you guys a little bit of a tour of what we built and what we created because you, the audience, many of you guys supported QX initially when we launched the Indiegogo, and we raised like $170,000+ in order to create this company. And mind you guys, we were heavily attacked by the left. Like all these leftist hit pieces came out, targeted us, attacked us right out the gate. Before we even could, start this thing up, we were already being attacked by the left.
We're not sure how you pronounce the name of this product. It's spelled QUX.
Siphon as much money from random gullible conservatives as possible. This is clearly a scam. This has to be a scam. There's no way this is actually going to be a real thing.
This would make the people behind the gigantic, colossal Enron scam blush.
And this thing is weird. It's mysterious. And it gets worse the more you know about it.
None of these tech journalists have been able to figure out what the fuck this is supposed to be.
This is something that allows you to share illegal content to each other. And the shit's just not going to work. And then they're going to run away with the cash.
So the best they've been able to put together is that it's basically like a Roku stick, like you would plug into the back of a smart TV.
Censorship-free, anti-big tech device. It's a perfect fit for her. She'll literally be like, censored again. Anyway, can't wait till the cucks comes out.
I don't want conservatives to have unlimited access to whatever content they want.
I don't want conservatives to have unlimited access to whatever content they want.
Damn! They hated it. They literally were like reeing and screeching and railing on about how you're not allowed to have a platform. We don't want you guys to have free speech. You can't do this. And they tried to claim it was a fraud. It was fake. We were just scamming. Like they tried to just smear us to oblivion. But that didn't stop us because there's nothing I would love more than to make Will Sommer eat some dust, right? Like eat my dust, Will Sommer, because you need to issue a retraction, which we know you won't because you're fake news. But yeah, you need to issue a retraction, buddy. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this thing on. Let's see. I've got my handy dandy TV screen here, guys, which I hope you're appreciating this new interesting setup we've got going on here. So now it's saying check your internet connection, which usually just means I need to connect to my Wi-Fi. All right, so it's interesting because we actually created several different kinds of remotes. So actually we have like a keyboard remote. See that? So it's got like numbers on it or letters, and then on this side it's got like a mouse pad. So this one's super cool for engaging in the live chat. And then we have like your traditional TV remote right here. So I'm going to use this one. I really like this one. I'm going to use the keypad. All right, it says it's connected. Connected to my Wi-Fi. All right. Now we're going inside. Here we go. All right. Oh, yes, I got the password right. Okay. So basically you enter into your profile with a 4-digit PIN, and you can create as many of those profiles as you want for different members in your family or even for kids, and you can set a rating on each of the profiles. So for kids rating, you could have like Y7 or Y13 or whatever you feel comfortable with. And then for yourself, you can set whatever rating you want. I like to have mine on rated FS for rated free speech because a lot of people put rated free speech content on here. So what you see is content that's related to the ratings. So, the young kids will never see any of the higher rated content, if that makes sense. All right, so check it out here. We've got this menu bar over here. So I click on here where we've got the Portal Universe. Now, mind you guys, my basement internet is so slow because I'm in the basement. And this thing is not wired in with an Ethernet cord, which maybe I should have it wired in. Dun dun dun! Okay, I got the Ethernet cable cord. So that's the thing. You can use Wi-Fi, or you can just plug an Ethernet cable cord in. And for me, given that I'm in my basement studio, the Ethernet cable is going to speed things up. All right. Whereas when we're upstairs, it's zippity fast because it's just my basement doesn't get Wi-Fi really well. All right, so check it out. So I guess what we could go to is we'll go to here. So this is basically kind of the standard setup for what we call Portal. So in Portals, it's kind of like a social media profile or channel where you can put your trailer, your various video content, your playlists. Pretty soon people are going to be putting their stores and their products as well. If they have products that they sell, they can put those in there as well, and as well as other things. So yeah, you can click on the videos, play them. I wonder if I have my this TV's volume on. Oh, there we go. Alright, so there's a video right there. You just tap with your two fingers, and I can use the mouse here to click on that. This is opening up a playlist. So here you can connect entire libraries and playlists in here to watch videos from. Let's see.
No, the Bible says the Bible was edited by William Shakespeare.
Okay, so I'll go out of that. But yeah, so as you can see, it's really nice. It's very fast and responsive. We'll go out of this portal. Yeah, there's all kinds of good content and stuff on here. I'll show you. I've got some stuff up on here. You guys could watch my Love Trump's Hate film, Veterans and Back Alley Squalors on here, and I've got like a whole library of content as well on here. So tons of stuff for you guys to watch. And the best part about watching stuff on QX is no one can see what you're watching, no one can see what you're doing and engaging with. It's all private, encrypted, secured in a private network. So all of this is private. And, you know, it's nice to be able to engage in the live chats as well and know that, you know, you're not being put on a government watch list. You know? So I'll show you now. These down here are some of the live streams. Yeah, and that's right. We've got Diamond and Silk, or we've got Silk joining on a QX. We've got Rudy Giuliani on QX. We've got quite a few people on here. So I guess I'll go right now to we'll go to Lindell TV. You guys want to watch Lindell TV live on here?
Why are these 11 and 8?
Well, it's a good question, Emerald. Thanks for having me on, by the way.
So I'm going to mute this really quick.
A couple of members were very adamant saying...
I'm muting that. Okay, so check this out. Then we got this store, which, you know, some of these guys haven't set up their stores on here yet, but let me go back here. But you see how it says store? Okay, so this is where products and stuff are soon going to be available. And then we've got live chat. So this is where you could be like with your keyboard remote. Hey. And you know, you could do all kinds of stuff with it. Let's see. Exclamation. I can't find the exclamation. There it is. And I could even add an emoji. Hee hee hee. I added 2. So there you go, right? You've got, I don't know if you guys can see it very well. Yeah, it's right there. So, okie doke. So we've got a live chat in here, and we've got store. Let's go back out of here. Oh, don't want to log out. Cancel. And what's cool about this, guys, is the way we set up this private network, we're able to do over-the-air updates. So as we've been, building out QX, more features have come live, right? So as we continue to go and grow, you'll see more and more features coming live with these over-the-air updates. So I want to show you now the QX TV subscription side. So this is super neat. So if any of you guys actually have cable television at home and you watch like sports or, you watch all kinds of content on there, those cable TV providers, they actually can collect data on what you're watching, watch TV, so to speak. And they can really get a lot out of that. I mean, if somebody's watching, let's say, CNN all the time, BET, MTV, certain channels, they're going to kind of be able to put a picture together as to who that person is, how they might vote, and they can target you with, campaigns, political psyops and campaigns. Whereas, they could also know, okay, this person watches Fox News, this person watches Newsmax, and they can target you in those type of ways as well. But on QX, you can watch what you want to watch, and no one is watching you watch TV. So you can watch TV without your TV watching you. Pretty neat, and it's actually like half the price of what you're paying on your cable TV bill. So literally, like the rates, I mean, it starts at $19.99 and then it goes to $45 for like the most common package that people like, 171 channels, I believe. And then the ultimate package, which has everything, all the premium sports channels, all the premium movie channels, that one is $114.99 a month. So these are all monthly and you can cancel anytime. So I just want to show you, this is really neat. So you can actually add your favorites up here and have them readily available for you. So as you can see, I've done that with OAN, which we have OAN on QX TV, guys, which is awesome because they were canceled by DirecTV and they've been canceled by a lot of other cable TV providers because they supported President Trump. So even just canceling DirecTV and canceling these other cable TV providers that cancel networks you like because of their politics, you can actually switch to QX, save money, and boycott those other cable TV providers for canceling OAN. And you don't have to be spied on. Look at that, imagine that. And some people have said, okay, well, why are you, supporting these mainstream news channels or these mainstream television channels by having them available on QX? Well, we're actually not. If you think about it, what we're doing is we're actually allowing for your everyday American that's already using and has a cable TV subscription to actually get it cheaper, first of all. We're actually allowing for them to watch it in a private setting and not allowing those cable companies to collect their data. And we're opening up the gates for like OAN and even other future networks that we can bring on here to make sure that they're not going to be canceled because of their political beliefs as well from television. So it kind of is a win-win because we're also allowing your everyday average American that doesn't pay attention to politics, that maybe they just want to watch Cartoon Network and sports, to be able to get a cheaper, better, awesome cable option. And then they happen to find the Portal Universe and other cool channels on there like OAN that the establishment doesn't want them to see. So there you have it. So we've got OAN on there. Let's see, we've got Fox News, which whatever, Newsmax. Let's see, I think I have it on mute. There we go.
Sign up for the free trial. Give it a try when you go.
So there you go. So I'll just show you like how many different channels there are. It's pretty amazing. Look at that. So we've got, well, these are my favorites. Hold on. I'm going to show you okay, so all 338. So this is the premium subscription for $114.99. You get all these channels, guys. All these channels. Super easy, fun to surf through, including like all the movies, the sports. Okay, let's see. And actually, if you want to find out exactly, because you want to look for a specific channel, you guys could go to QUX Now, so QUXNow.com, and on there you can find the various packages and just click on where it says learn more, and you'll be taken to the page where it has the entire list of the channels that each different package offers, and you can actually even you can modify and put on specific channels that you like to kind of customize your package as well. Okay, so I guess we'll go to ESPN.
Structured settlement. That's 877.
It's got a commercial.
Those happen after that. Obviously, Chicago.
So it's really simple and easy. You just push like the arrow sideways.
It was just lovely.
So let's say I liked ESPN 2, right? And I'm like, oh man, I love watching this channel all the time. I want to add it to favorites.
A game that we actually,
I'm gonna mute this really quick.
were ahead for a decent.
Okay, let's say I'm like, I want to add this to favorites. I would just go up here to the heart, and I would select that, and then now it's going to be on my favorites, and I'll show you. So you go to home. Oh, let me go back up here. Okay. Oh, should be over here. There it is. Oop. You see it? So there, I just added it to my favorites list up here, so it's easily accessible and available. And like I said, on here we've got like all the big movie channels as well, and there's different ways to watch it. You could watch it from like a TV guide setting as well, if that's like how you prefer to watch it. To go through like the channels this way. But I like going through just the icons. But yeah, so let's go out of this. We're back in the Portal universe now, where there's like tons of content to look through and watch. Okay. And live streams. And then we also have, I guess we can go to this one. We also have a store as well in the QX Marketplace, and this is where the QX payment processor ties all in to where we have a full-on little ecosystem going on in here where we're outside of big tech control. We can be off the grid. People can engage with each other. We've got a lot of small business owners that are patriots that want to be able to sell on here, and they have products and things that they're preparing to put up for sale. And if you guys are somebody who wants to be able to sell your products, could be anything, you guys can do that as well in the QX Marketplace. And then you could also work out deals with other content creators where you could put it on their stores, on their live streams, or on their content, or on their portals. It's really kind of neat. So that one was okay. Let's see. Now we're gonna go to the store icon. Oh, digital products. Let's see. Like there's lots of stuff there. Okay. So we got a store. Oh, that it looks like we've got the cable TV. So what it seems like our tech people are doing is they're loading in our tech packages. That way people can buy their cable TV subscription in the marketplace rather than on our website right now where it's currently available. So that's pretty neat. I'm always seeing new stuff they're doing in here. But then there's like other stuff in here already. Health and beauty. So there's stuff in here. You can go shopping on the TV. We've got a shopping cart where you can look at your various purchases. what's been completed or received or whatever. Like you can check your cart and see, have you received it yet, and keep up on your orders, things that you've bought. And then we have favorites as well, where you can favorite content and add it to a favorites list. So it's easily accessible and you can find it easy. And then this is just the home page where, you know, we've been kind of customizing content and layouts for people to be able to find stuff with different categories to search. So, I mean, it's pretty exciting, you know, and that's kind of where we're at right now with that. And like I said, we just launched QX Pay as well. And one of the things that's neat with the QX cable TV subscriptions is that you can actually access that cable TV subscription as well on your other devices. So we launched QX TV in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, and it is available for any of you guys to download onto your devices. And you'll be able to watch your cable television in this setup here. So you'll be able to access this part of the cable TV setup on the QX TV apps. So you can watch it from your phone, you can watch it from your tablet or your computer on the go, and you can do that with up to 5 devices. So yeah, it's pretty neat. So this is the part you'd be able to access on the go, right? So, you know, I think we've come a long way for sure, definitely from where we started. And it's exciting to know that all of this stuff was possible and we were able to accomplish this because of the people. And this is what I was saying earlier, whereas you guys actually are the ones that have the power. You guys are the ones that can make things happen and basically change what's going on. We can change the reality. We can change the situation. What you continue to feed is what will grow. So if you continue to feed YouTube, continue to feed Facebook and Twitter, those things will grow. And if that's what you want to grow, I guess then by all means continue feeding it. You know, if you want to continue throwing money towards, I mean, that goes for anything, like buying food products that are really terrible. You know, or supporting certain, you know, things that you think are bad. You know, maybe you think Netflix or Disney, you don't like what they're doing in politics. Well, stop feeding it, and they'll get a message, right? Stop supporting it, and they'll get a message, and maybe they'll change, right? Or maybe they'll fail. But that's the free market. That's America, right? That's capitalism, which we like, and we want to continue capitalism. We're not communists. And with QX, just with the amount that you guys, the people, initially seeded into QX, this is what has flourished. This is what has grown. And we're hoping it will continue to grow by getting more of you guys on board, where you guys can watch all this content. I mean, there's tons of it, guys. All right? You can watch all this content just by, you know, searching here in the Portal universe. We've got so many different portals that, you know, you guys could all look through and find. And like I said, we have plans for this. This is not it. It's going to be, there's going to be more things going on over here in the menu bar. We're going to have more features launching soon, more engagement, we're going to be adding a comment section. So we actually have the live chat feature, but we're going to be adding a comment section as well on like regular video content. So let's see. Check out all this content, guys. So I'll give you an example of one of the things we're adding next. Let's see. We'll go back out of here. So I'll show you in the okay, let's go here. So this is the QX tutorial videos channel that we have on here where people can watch tutorials. Let's go to this video. Oh, not this one. This is a playlist. Okay. Right here. All right. So you see down here where it says store. So this is just a regular uploaded video. So that's why it says store here. Okay. But if you notice the live streams, it said store and live chat. So one of the next things they're going to be doing is they're going to be adding on a comments button right there where you'll be able to see the comments on the side over here, and you'll be able to leave comments on the side over there as well. So very neat. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show. I really just wanted to kind of go over some current news stories that I found pretty fascinating and interesting and really relevant to things that I'm working on in my life right now and things I'm paying attention to, and I think you guys should probably be paying attention to as well. And I wanted to give you guys some updates as well as to what we're doing with QX. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to give you this tour inside of QX and let you know what we're doing here is because I really want to invite you guys and encourage you to join the growing community on QUX, because this is where you're going to be able to find my show and many other people's videos, shows, and exclusive content as well. I've decided that I'm pretty much, I'm gonna, maybe for this month, I'll do some stuff on some of these social media platforms that you guys are familiar with me being on. But really, the plan is that I'm going to be shifting solely onto QUX, and that is where I'm pretty much going to be setting up my platform, setting up my presence for the long term, because this is what I'm investing myself into. Because look, you can't continue to try to build a house on the sand, right? Because it'll get washed away. You cannot continue to build a house out of straw like the little pigs. Like, you cannot continue to do the same thing over and over again, expecting and hoping for different results, because that is the definition of insanity. And that's kind of what we've been doing on some of these other big tech social media platforms that are run by the Silicon Valley tech elitists over in California, right? And I'm done with those people. Like, I don't enjoy being on their platforms. They've ruined it. It's not fun for me anymore. I don't like self-censoring, and that's why I'm going to be pretty much transitioning fully onto QX. And I really am just coming on here to speak to you guys, to let you guys know about all the fun we're going to be having in QX, and we already are having. Like, just the other day, we had a couple different stream parties, and we communicate with each other in Telegram right now until the QX messaging app comes online, because we're still in development with the QX messaging app, but it's going to be coming soon. But right now we're using Telegram, and we're letting each other know about various live streams, and we're having comments or chat raids in live chats, and we're having fun because many of the people in this community, they do a whole plethora of different things. So we've got people gaming, we've got people doing tufting, which is some kind of like where you're almost like making rugs, but they made a really cool one time with Donald Trump's face on it. It was like a mural of him with a rug. It was the most interesting thing to watch. But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. People doing live politics shows, live streams, just random stuff. It's very interesting and entertaining, and that's where I'm going to be doing my show as well. So just wanted to let you guys know. To find out more, go to QUXnow.com. You guys can use promo code Millie and receive a discount. So when you use promo code Millie, you're supporting me being able to continue doing my show, my journalism, but you're also supporting QX as well. When you're getting on QX, you're helping it grow. You're helping feed it so it continue to grow, and it can take on these other tech companies that want to pretty much sell your privacy and censor you and push, psychological operations at you and get you to believe their political viewpoints. And if it's not just you that, maybe you're smart, maybe you can see through it, but who says that that's the same case for everyone or for your kids? And that's the other thing. My son, he is all about this. My 8-year-old son, he was totally tuning in to some of the gaming streams that were happening on here and was enjoying it, having fun in the live chat. He's been begging me. He's like, I want to do a gaming portal on here. I don't know. We'll see. But I definitely know he loves the content on here, and the fact that I, as a parent, can set parental controls on there for him so he can only watch age-appropriate content is one of the things I love about QX, because I'm sick and tired of these kids wanting to always get on YouTube where next thing you know, they go down a video rabbit hole and they're watching something that has cuss words or something that's inappropriate that I don't want them to watch because they don't have a rating system, right? But on QX, because we have a rating system, I can set that profile for my kids and know that they're not going to be seeing or exposed to content that is not appropriate for their age, including ads. It'll all be appropriate for their age. And that allows you to kind of rest easy as a parent, knowing that, look, your child is getting some entertainment, they're enjoying themselves, they're maybe learning from things they're watching, but it's going to be age appropriate. It's not going to be stuff that's going to be bad for them mentally and might affect them developmentally. So, you know, there's many wonderful things we've got going on here, guys. But yeah, it's good to be back, and you guys are going to be seeing more videos from my show, and we're going to get deeper into politics. So in the next show, expect us to get deep into some stories, some current news and events. And I will keep you guys updated here and there with little pop-ins where I give you updates on QX. But overall, this is pretty much going to be the video where I'm doing the big walkthrough. So, awesome, guys. Enjoy the show. I'm Millie Weaver, signing off. Our device is something that you can plug into your television, and now you can use your television as a social television type experience. So in the Portal universe, you can watch your favorite content creators' videos, live streams, music. We also have TV subscriptions as well.
TV subscriptions.
You can also
regular channels, all the sports.
Right, you can actually cut your cable from your cable subscription and get QUX TV on our QX TV boxes, and you can pay half the price that you're currently paying for your cable television subscription, and you can get all the best premium TV channels and more. I mean, it's really, there's so much on there, Rudy. I mean, you've seen it.
No, I've seen it and I use it, and it's good. I mean, it's great. It's just exactly the same except for half the price. Plus, nobody is finding out what I'm watching, and that's not being reported to anybody.
Right, so you have absolute privacy using this device, which you don't have on other devices out there currently on the market.
This is absolutely great. QUX.TV is how you can find out about it. QUX.TV.
Use promo code RUDY to receive $30 off.